Welcome. You're listening to Parts and Charts, the IFS and Astrology podcast. I'm Chelsea Owens, an artist and licensed marriage and family therapist specializing in internal family systems, and one of my spiritual gifts is the ability to balance depth and fun.
And I'm KP Kaszabowski, a poet, filmmaker, and astrologer who seeks pathways to fully loving myself and others, and the language for what is happening underneath the surface.
Together, we explore how inner parts and planetary archetypes speak to one another. Whether you're new to IFS or astrology or deep in your own integration practice, we're glad you're here. Welcome back.
Welcome. And we're back. Today is a very special episode for a million reasons. The first reason being it's really fun to be making this podcast with Chelsea Owens, the one and only. Second being Chelsea's birthday is in I think 3 or 4 days from when this is releasing. She's a Cancer sun. So we're celebrating her, and then we're taking this opportunity to talk about what happens when we have a birthday, like what shifts in the energy. And like there's a lot of techniques we can look at as like in astrology, but we're going to look at the profection year for this episode so as not to like overcomplicate this moment. Though when I do birthday readings, specifically birthday readings reflecting on the previous year of life and then like anticipating or dreaming up the energy for our next year of life, I often look at the profection year information first, and then I look at solar returns, which is something we'll talk about a few episodes from now. So today it's just profection years. Um,
Yeah, I think
so
it's really good to have that definition, right? Because I'm sure a lot of folks don't have any idea what that is.
yeah,
And so I think, yeah, looking at like what could people kind of apply or take away if they also are in Cancer season and having a birthday,
yeah.
how they could even look up their own chart, kind of get kind of a base knowledge of, something, or they can just book a session with you and you can have a little birthday session with them.
I'm always open.
Available too. Yeah.
Okay, but first I want to ask Chelsea, um, how is it feeling? Like, what age are you? Tell us about what this threshold moment is.
I am so okay to share that. And so right now, as we're recording, still 39. And I think when this will be released, I'll still be 39, but then I will very soon be 40. So I think that also feels pertinent to talk about,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not just like I just want to talk about my birthday, and I want to, take up that space, but it's a threshold that, I haven't done before.
Yeah.
Um, but I've done like the other milestones, 30, which I can reflect on too. I can't even believe that was 10 years ago. It's wild. So I feel like the 30s went by super fast. Um, kind of with like COVID marking it in the middle. Like I think we went into that, yeah, when I was 35.
Hmm.
Um, which is a weirder time for me, I think, not just because of COVID, but I felt a lot more of the like, oh my God, I'm almost 40 pressure when I was 35. Like I remember crying on that birthday. I was with one of my guy friends and I was just like uncontrollably sobbing about who even knows what. Just feeling like, oh my God, I'm mid 30s. I gotta get it together. Like I am single. I am childless. I don't own a house. All of the landmarks that our society kind of puts on us as a mark of this is you're doing well. You're an adult, among many other things, right? But yeah, I felt that much more intensely back then.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like, whatever. I care somewhat. Like there's still things that I want for my life for sure, but it does not have the same energy, does not have the same, maybe like desperation even, or
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we have to do something about this. So I think there were a lot more parts at play back then that were freaking out about it and had some urgency for sure. And I think a lot of those have been tended to or taken care of now and things just feel lighter. So it's so crazy being on the cusp of exiting the 30s. And I know for a lot of other people, maybe who are, our elders, would be like, God, you're still so young. Like this person talking about their 30s and 40s, like, come on. But, when you're in the time period that you're in, it feels like a big deal. And it
Yeah.
feels like, oh, never been here before, never done this, don't know what water I'm charting into. Um, and for cancers, especially, like the nostalgia, the like letting go of the past feels also significant. So, yeah, I think like wrapping up, I'm not sure what ritual I want to do yet to wrap up
Yeah.
the 30s. Maybe I'll think about that a little bit of how I want to just kind of, yeah, remember the time, kind of reflect on what
Yeah.
has happened, how I've progressed, how I've grown. What have been some really good moments? What have been some hard moments? I feel like I need to do that every year as a kid.
Yeah.
And like just, yeah, reflect and kind of hold space and sadness for memories. Um, so I'll probably do a whole decade of that reflection in the next couple
I
weeks.
love that.
I'm rambling now. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Ugh, I a lot of people close in my life, they call me like the birthday person. And in my MFA program, poetry program, I once said like, "Am I the birthday poet?" And the whole room's like, "Yeah, like you talk about birthdays a lot." But
You.
it's not just because I'm a twin, okay? It's because I see the magic of that switch. And
Hmm.
I now that I'm like more aware of what the energetic shift astrologically, the moment you turn a new age,
Hmm.
I see that it's not just like the I'm celebrating the day I was born. It's like it's that fresh energy and that moment where you get to like honor the plans that did not go as you planned, right? The things that did not go as you planned, and also reflect on what did occur and what you learned and what you felt. And then also you get to like um, it's not quite dreaming, it's not quite setting goals, but it's like, I wonder what is going to become of the next year. So it's like
Yeah.
a wondering energy. So I love that moment. And that's the same as like New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
solstice. Like I love those days where you can be like both in the past and the future, but doing it in a ritual kind of way. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna jump kind of in right
Yeah.
away with a graphic. So for the people who are watching, I am sharing my screen, and this is what we call a profection chart. For the people who are not watching, I'll do my best to describe what I'm walking through so that you can understand what we're talking about. So, this is the profection chart, and it shows you every age, like going progressively around the chart as every age corresponds with one of the 12 houses of a chart. So I'm going to kind of describe that in a different way. So every single newborn in this world, every single person who is brand new, that first year of life is considered the zeroth year, and that corresponds with the first house. And the first house has a lot to do with personhood, like being a being. So it makes a lot of sense that the first year of life corresponds with being a being, right?
Hmm.
And then every single 1 year old on their first birthday to their second birthday, they have a second house year. So it's going in order. Second house years has a lot to do with like, what am I surrounded by in the material world that helps me be a being? And I'm not going to go through all of the houses, but it's progressive like that.
Hmm.
So if we're looking at the age 21, every single 21-year-old, so from their 21st birthday to their 22nd birthday, they have a 10th house year. And if we do this math over and over and over, you'll see that every 9-year-old, every 21-year-old, every 33-year-old, every 45-year-old, every 57-year-old, every 69-year-old, every 81-year-old has a 10th house year. Okay. One of the best examples, and I don't know who like clocked this. I'm sure they had like one of the most amazing days as an astrologer. But there's the song that has the lyrics like nobody likes you when you're 23. Nobody likes you when you're 23. That song.
Hmm. Hmm.
The 23rd year corresponds with the 12th house year, and a 12th house year is the year where we lose the plot, Nothing goes as planned. You must surrender, otherwise you're going to thrash. Um, so when you're 23, nobody likes you if we're using that
Mm.
lyric as a guiding light, because you don't know who you are or what you're doing. Like it's a really confusing time. So then
Mm.
every 11-year-old, 23, 35,
Oh,
47, 59, 71, 83-year-old has a 12th house year. And it's
wow,
not
that's
always bad.
the 35. That was
Right.
what I felt.
Yeah. And I'm currently in a 35 year, yeah, I'm a
Right.
12th
Yeah.
house year right now.
Yeah.
So like we're losing the plot and I'm just accepting it at this point.
Wow.
You are currently in your 39th year, right?
Yeah.
Um you're in a fourth house year.
Okay. And that's cat.
Um this is a really lucky chart because you're also a Leo rising, so we can see that a fourth house year for you is a Scorpio year. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is this is like one layer down. We're gonna go 3 layers down. We're gonna stop there. We're not gonna get too complicated. Um, but your fourth house year
Yeah.
is a Scorpio year, your 39th year, which means that Mars is your like leader, the
Oh,
energetic leader of this year of your life.
yeah.
It's true that every 39-year-old has a fourth house year, but not everyone has Mars as their, we call it a Time Lord. Not every 39-year-old has Mars as their Time Lord.
Wow.
So this says a lot of things. Let's just be really general and say that the energy of this year of your life was probably motivated, full of energy, Mars energy. There might have been more conflict than normal. There might have been more like getting up and doing stuff and like
Mhm.
just doing it, just checking off your list, not waiting too long, that kind of
Mhm.
energy. But because it's the Scorpio Mars and not the Aries Mars, there's more of like an interpersonal or intuitive bent to the Martian energy.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
So this is one of the things that when I have a birthday threshold kind of session with someone, we reflect on how that Time Lord like played out in the past year of their life. And
Oh.
there's a lot of other questions I ask, but this is like the main thing that I think gives a lot of information. And what you can feel shift, I think, I'm like at least anticipating for you is that the next year of your life's Time Lord is a very, very different planet. So Mars is the planet that says no to things, which
Oh.
can be fruitful or not, but Mars says no. You are about to move into a Jupiter year.
Oh,
So fifth house year, age 40. Every 40-year-old has a fifth house year. The fifth house is also more playful, more creative than the fourth house. Depends on the person, but fourth house is more like interiority, emotional work, safety, security, and home and ancestors.
yeah.
The
Okay.
fifth house is like fun, play, speculation, joy, pleasure, children, childlike being, or like developing oneself,
Hmm.
um, as like oneself is a creative project,
Mm.
right? So it's a lot different just by the house, but
Right.
having a planet that says no,
Yeah.
Mars, and then this fifth house year coming up, age 40 for you, Jupiter is a planet that says yes.
Mm.
He's a benefic, where Mars is malefic. So
Ah.
Jupiter says yes, for better or worse, but
Mhm.
it's definitely more like expansive. I would say more playful. Like there's a little bit more luck energy. Like let's just see what
Mm.
happens kind of energy.
Mm.
So I anticipate you feeling a really big shift between last year and this coming year in the energy. Just like the mood, I guess, is the way that I put it.
Yeah.
So Jupiter is going to be your time lord and your helper.
The word Time Lord is just
I know it's
it's
like
cracking me up.
I know I don't like it very much either. You can say it's I like to say like your guide
Yeah.
or the person who helps set the rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Um yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
So this is a perfection year thing to take the energy for the year coming ahead, the year that you haven't lived yet. Um you already probably know what you want to do or feel or make or experience. But knowing the information that Jupiter is the person helping you, and
Mm.
it's the house of play, pleasure, like that kind of stuff, you may want to alter your plans.
Ooh,
Like, for example, if you're like, I really want to start a research project that
yeah,
takes like 80 hours a week for me to like heads down and not talk to anyone and make sure that like I know my stuff before I start writing and I publish,
yeah,
it's probably not the year for that, right?
yeah.
Because it's the house of pleasure and it's the time lord of joy and luck and like expansion. So it looks to me more like, what if this is a year for going to the beach more or like playing with friends? Like that's more the vibe.
Mm, yeah,
So now I'm gonna take the graphic away.
that's a really cool chart.
I know.
Yeah.
Um, so what are you thinking about the Martian year that you're wrapping up right now and the Jupiterian year coming up?
Yeah, you know how we pulled the death card before this
Yes.
fall. Do you think that's kind of deathy? Like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, just um yeah, what was I guess what am I closing the door on? And um do you think that the Scorpio Mars yeah, I like that you said the Scorpio Mars was a lot more interior than exterior. Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
I would say it's like interpersonal more than external. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Raw personal.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for sure. I'm like doing a quick kind of review in my head. I'm like, okay, so since last birthday, what did I do? It felt like a crunchy t year, kind of like
Yeah.
crunchy that there was a lot of, I think there were a lot of other astrological forces that were what maybe it was just Mars, honestly, right? Because Mars
Mars is
is doing a lot
doing
of crazy
a
stuff in my
lot.
chart. So, and then it was ruling that year for me. So it felt a lot of like, like not like squeaky wheel, but like stop and start. Or like,
Yes.
how about this? And then no. So there was a lot of
Yeah.
no-ness. And like, I feel like I was coming up again, rubbing up against like something that was just like putting the kibosh on the things that I thought I wanted or like the manifestations or goals and all the plans. Like last year, even before my birthday though, there were a lot of canceled plans, but after birthday, yeah, it felt like okay, I went to Burning Man. That was fun. Came back um and things just yeah, not like nothing happened, but I feel like I had more anticipation of um maybe more expansion and more Um, joy, yeah, in
Yeah.
play. And even that kind of felt a little dulled. A little bit, yeah, I was kind of forced to just sit with more challenges and
Yeah.
face, I don't know, I guess more hardships. And yeah, things just kind of not fruiting yet and not coming to fruition. Um, and there were good times too. Yeah. I forget that like half of that was like just January till now, you know?
Right. Right.
Half of the 39 year like literally just happened in 2025.
Yeah.
Like duh. But when you really like kind of reflect on it, I'm like, yeah, like that was also, because we're not just thinking of the year as like January to December, but for me it's like July to July. So
Yeah.
yeah. And I did some travel this year so far and some things did actually have some follow through, which felt good. Because I do need a lot of travel and to bring joy for me and bring like lightness and variety. Um, so yeah, I guess from January until now, there's been like more opening up. I think some of those forces kind of released a little bit, right, with Mars.
Yeah.
At least around March, maybe. There was like a little bit less no action. And
That's exactly when Mars's retrograde was starting to release.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. I felt that.
Yeah,
So,
so that's something I think is helpful to mention is that your Time Lord, whatever is happening, I know the word is, I don't like the word very much, the
yeah,
phrase.
it's just silly. It's
I
fine.
know. But whatever the planet is doing in the sky currently is informing your experience a
Ah,
lot.
mm,
So Mars does not retrograde every year. And the
mm,
year that you have a Mars ruled year, Mars retrogrades, which is like not very lucky, right?
interesting.
And
Yeah.
Mars retrograding is a very uncomfortable experience for everyone, but for people who have Mars at the forefront of their experience, whether their birth chart is ruled by Mars or their Time Lord is Mars, it's definitely like a double down of the energy. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. And
I
then,
feel like a lot of I I I feel like a connection perhaps to protective parts for me, like some of my managers, maybe even some firefighters that maybe were coming up around the Mars stuff too.
yeah,
Or just like I think some older like burdens even got a little they like got a little dusted off and came up
yeah,
just like about scarcity and um kind of lack of faith, honestly. So,
yeah,
and just anxiety. I think that's what they present, like the protectors kind of present with, like, oh no, like, we got to look out for this, or like, this isn't happening, or, going into a little bit of doubt, a little bit of sadness, anger, frustration, for sure. And then they kind of organize around those feelings and do certain things for me. And then
yeah,
what's underneath that is like, yeah, just, parts that have felt scared or worried about me or worried about the future and um living the life that I want and truly feel good in. Um,
yeah. What
yeah.
was also happening is that you have a natal Mars in Cancer, and the Mars retrograde was happening in Leo and Cancer.
Oh,
So it was like a triple,
whammy.
yeah, very personal experience for you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Hmm.
So something to to look forward to, I think, is that not only are you switching from a malefic to a benefic, but you're switching from a malefic who was like personally retrograding over your personal Mars, right? And then this year, you're moving into Jupiter in his exalted place in Cancer. So
Yeah.
it's like there's like I wonder if also because it's in Cancer in the same place. So Mars retrograding over Cancer recently and Jupiter going back over Cancer with his positive energy or his growth energy. There might be some things coming up again, but it's in a maybe a more expansive light, or a light that feels more meaning making, um,
Mm.
than what you experienced this past winter, spring.
Nice. Okay.
It's like I feel like it's so bizarre because like what you could have had any planets rule this current year in the next one, but it's like
Well,
the two planets doing really personal work in your chart.
yeah, and like very opposite energies, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what? There's also a part of me that like didn't want to believe, or even when, other astrologers, not you, but, other people, or I would hear things about what's going on astrologically, especially with Mars, like in the last year. A part of me was like so, I don't know, like rebellious in a way. Like, oh, well, I'm not like, that's not going to pertain to me. I'm like, almost like it wanted to fight it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really going to be true for me. Or like, I'm not going to let these astrological forces, derail my life or like dictate, if my life is good or like if XYZ happens. Like, it was like so. Yeah, just like didn't think it applied to me, right?
Yeah.
Or thought like, oh, well, that's just like the collective, but like I can still manifest the fuck out of my life, you know?
Yeah.
And it really just like wanted to fight the forces or not believe it, right? Or like, yeah, that just didn't pertain to me. or like it's not real. Like maybe that's happening with Mars, but it's not gonna affect me. Like I'm above it or something.
I
And
think
like,
that's
and like,
healthy.
is it okay?
I think that's healthy. Like you can work with the energy or not, but if you're being told like something that's actively against what you want to have done, you don't have to listen to the astrology. You can push
True.
through. I don't know. You do
Yeah,
what you
like I
want.
think it's both, right?
Yeah.
Like working with the energy. Like it's really just like flowing because the energy actually felt less like skepticism and more like I'm gonna overpower this thing like because and like it felt more like friction like it was
Yeah.
causing more friction because I was trying to fight something try to fight a flow or like lessons that I was supposed to be learning
Yeah.
and kind of like I was going against something that I was supposed to be learning or just actually causing more problems for myself or more pain really, right? Or more suffering.
Yeah.
But like also, yeah, it's you also don't have to be super beholden to whatever you're hearing. Like maybe it isn't applying in the moment. It's
Right.
like maybe there is something going on and you don't also have to just take that view and believe it just because
Right.
maybe it won't apply to you. And yeah, so both.
And there's always so much happening with the planets that if you see one planet that's like looking really supportive of a dream, hitch your ride on that one and then hope Mars doesn't come after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time. But from my perspective as your friend this year, it did
Yeah.
feel like you were grounded.
Oh,
Like,
and in 39?
yeah, it felt like you had these all these plans to go travel or like to meet up with certain people for a different reason. But it was like the plans were canceled or didn't quite work out. And it like
Mm-hmm.
bummer, obviously, but like it looked like a fourth house year where a fourth house year has a lot to do with home and like
Ah.
privacy and quietude. I was like, that's not fair.
Oh.
That's not fair for Chelsea.
Oh, wow, that's really true. Yeah. And then we started the podcast.
Yeah, in our
Which is
homes.
that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to yeah, more Jupiter. More Jupiter.
Yeah. I mean, Jupiter is also one of the planets we look to for travel expansion.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you think our listeners could know about perfection year, birthday moments?
I guess yeah, I guess I feel like making the point and like uh just offering support for people who are going through a threshold year, like not just a birthday, but these landmarks that we've, kind of, I don't know, made some meaning out of, right? Like the 30, the 40, the 50, the 60, the 90. So when you're young, or maybe, I don't know, I can't speak to when you're older, but when you're younger, it feels like a big deal. I hear a lot of people talking about like turning 30. I see that with clients every once in a while. Like that one feels more tender, perhaps. I don't know why.
I have some guesses.
Okay, yeah, and it feels different to me than turning 40, but I've also
Yeah.
heard people express a lot about turning 40 and like what that means. And I guess I'm just offering that like it doesn't have to mean anything.
Yeah.
It can mean what you want it to mean, but just take a look at the parts of you that are coming up around it. Um, and and the pressure that is put on internally and externally to, I don't know, achieve something,
Yeah.
to have something. And
Hmm.
you know that we have everything we need inside, right?
Yeah.
Um, or there's much more to us that, um, it goes beyond just our senses and what we see and what we kind of sense about ourselves and our, everyone around us. Like we're much more than that. So the reminder that like you're doing great. Maybe I'm speaking to myself right now,
I
but
love it.
not, it doesn't have to be a big deal. And what matters is like, um, I mean, how you feel about yourself, your relationship to yourself, and how you feel inside, right? Like, I feel 25 or younger, and um, and that feels pretty good. And um, you don't have to try to achieve anything before any timeline on any timeline, because time isn't real.
Time is not real, even though that is my business. It's not real. It's like it's all about pleasure,
Hmm.
satisfaction,
Yeah.
maybe is the
Right.
better word.
Yeah. And I think, as we get older, we just realize more and more of who we are, what we are, how we serve, and what's important, and and caring less about being perceived, right? Caring less about
Yeah.
what other people think about us. And that feels super freeing and kind of just clearing away the BS, right? Like, yeah, people who get really caught up and like things need to be a certain way, right? And I for sure felt that.
Yeah.
Like, parts that felt like, okay, I need to be perfect. I need to have this kind of job, house, whatever. Everything needs to look a certain way. Um, or else that means I'm not good enough or I'm not doing it right. Or I'm not an adult. And like it's just a lie. It's not true. Like a lot of that does not matter. And I think you realize that more and more as you get older. Um, Maybe some people realize that when they're younger, but you just like start to care a lot less
Yeah.
about what it all looks like. And you kind of just reduce it down to like what really makes me happy and like what kind of relationships do I want to have with other people and myself. Like that is going to bring me a whole lot of joy, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just from a cancer's perspective.
Mm. Happy birthday, Chelsea.
Thank you.
You're one of my great inspirations.
One of your great elders.
My elders.
I feel like with, in my profession, it also feels like age makes you more appealing. Like
Yeah.
so I feel also like I need to tell people because I sometimes feel like I look younger than I am. And I I I guess I need to tell people that like, oh, I'm actually 40. Like that gives me some legitimacy and
Yeah.
at least yeah, in my profession it feels like the more experience, the more age, all those things make
Hmm.
you more appealing to more people who want to work with you and like more, which is yeah, I get that. There's some truth to that. And younger folks also have a lot to offer too, but
The Dalai Lama became the Lama at like 3, 4. How old was he? I don't know. I have that comes up a lot for astrologers too. Is like I don't ever want to meet with I've heard this online. I don't want to meet with an astrologer who hasn't had their Saturn return or who hasn't had their
oh
nodal return.
yeah.
Um, and I don't subscribe to that, but I understand parts of that logic
Yeah.
because the Saturn return around age 29 um, is a maturation threshold,
Hmm.
and the nodal return around age 36 is also a maturation threshold. Um,
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
get it, but also I think it's bullshit. Like a 22-year-old astrologer is probably an incredible astrologer.
Yeah.
If their worldview or their ethos is from the heart, right?
Yeah, right? If it's coming from the heart, it's coming from being self-led. If there's a lot more self-awareness than, you know, other people that age, like I feel like that's much more important than,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
self-awareness.
So you can say you're 25.
Okay.
You're still
I'm
an
not even
incredible
months ago, really.
no.
Maybe I should. For the next week, I'll just like totally lie to
Okay.
anybody who asks.
See what
If
happens.
anyone asks, which I don't think they will, but
Do it
how
after Jupiter is your time lord and it'd be a better experience.
God. Okay. Um, how do you feel about turning 40? You've got a couple years before that happens.
I don't know. I have a lot of like super personal um like questions for the universe
Oh,
that have to do with a numerology chart that we've talked about a couple times, but it's not probably not for the air, but
what
I
numerology?
like aging. Hmm?
What numerology chart?
Oh, we'll talk about it off air.
The
It's
energy
like
chart.
way too I look like what's that movie with Jim Carrey and he's like writing 23 everywhere? Like that's like what I look like with this theory. But I like aging, but I'm a Capricorn rising and Capricorn like Saturn ruled people like
So slow.
fine wine, you know?
Yeah.
So I lean into that.
So you have to do some thinking before 40?
Before 40.
Recent
I
struggle?
remember when I was in my 20s as a filmmaker and a poet, I was like, no one's gonna listen to me until I'm 30. And then I made my first feature film when I was about 30.
Oh.
It's like still no one's gonna listen to me until I'm 50. So like it's kind of like a mentality that I have to interrogate. Like, why do I think I always have to be so much older if I want to realize a certain dream? And I think there's a lot of lies in that.
Ooh, interesting.
And that's like probably why I'm contemplating why people don't want to book with an astrologer who's under 30. And I totally disagree with that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like it's pretty amazing, like sometimes what our parts come up with.
Yeah.
In order to I'm guessing the intention is to push, right? Keep achieving or keep going. Like keep
Yeah.
learning, right? Don't get complacent with how much you know now. You can know more, right? It's
Yeah.
like keep going, keep doing more, keep achieving, right? All our manager parts that don't want us to just like rest on our laurels and think we know everything already
Right.
when we like don't. And also like just noticing like if that energy becomes maybe too obsessive and
Right.
like never allows you to feel like you're good enough, right?
Keeps you from showing people who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really smart though.
Thank you. It's mostly genetic, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Or I mean it came from God.
Or God. The unicorn beam.
And then
Mhm. We've been talking a lot about Jesus and God on this podcast for people who are not churchgoers.
we are so not, but for reformed churchgoers, former.
I, I like a good incense Latin church, but I like to sit in the
Oh,
back and I slip out before they do what's it called? Communion,
oh yeah.
because I'm a heathen. Yeah.
I mean, when I'm traveling in Europe, I slip
Mhm.
into a few churches here and there, say a quick
Yeah.
prayer.
Yeah.
Like they're also beautiful pieces of architecture, and I know
Yeah.
you have a lot of history of a lot of other things and colonization and
Hmm.
use and all that. But like the architecture was lit.
Lit. I'm a huge fan of grottos. Like if I go to
Oh,
a whole new country or city or whatever, I try to find one of their grottos.
yes.
Portland has one of the most incredible grottos. I forgot the name of it, but it's like surrounded by trees and it's usually like dripping wet and
Oh,
it's incredible.
man.
Yeah.
I
Thank
remember
you,
that list.
Catholics, for the grottos.
Yes. Yeah, Grotto to me feels very merry. Like that feels
Yeah.
so merry to me and like
Hmm.
really lush and fertile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candles.
Yeah. And I love like I mean I love stained glass, of course, but and there's some really, really beautiful ones in Paris.
Yeah.
Chapelle. Yeah, like mm, so good. And I love Gothic architecture and um okay, we can go on and on.
Yeah, I was like, okay, are we manifesting a trip?
Are we? I think we're manifesting a little road trip to Paris or to
Little
France.
road trip over the pond.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
record live. Mhm.
well, this was a lovely episode.
Thank you.
I'm celebrating you so much.
Thank you.
My
Um,
favorite Cancer sun, Leo rising. Yeah.
I can't
Okay,
wait to give
so
you all updates of how the fifth house Jupiterian year progresses.
yeah. And
Yep.
if you have any questions about your perfection year and that kind of stuff, like send us a message. I will look at your chart and tell you what's up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love this time technique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Thank
I'm
you.
currently in a Jupiter ruled year, by the way.
Oh, you are. Which house?
My 12th house, so it's the house of losing
Mhm.
all ability to manifest. But I'm
Oh,
grateful that Jupiter is my leader because, like, whatever.
yeah.
I'll just follow him.
Oh, that's an interesting, like, yeah, Time Lord
Time Lord.
for 12th house. That feels kind of fun, right? Like, kind of
I don't
fun.
know. Doesn't feel fun, but like
But it's almost over. You're a Libra, so we've only got a little bit more left, right?
2 months. Yeah.
And then what?
And then I am a first house perfection year, and my ruler is Capricorn, so then Saturn, who will be in my fourth house for the majority of the time.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. Maybe I'm grounded too.
Uh, yeah, no planes, no flying,
No flying. Uh-oh.
cars only, trains, cars.
Carriage. I don't know what is this Saturnian vehicle. Walking. It's probably walking.
Sea goat. I don't know.
What's that?
The sea goat, the
Oh,
Capricorn.
I thought you said Z goat. I'm like, oh, is that a San Franciscan self-driving car company?
The sea goat.
Uh, Thank you, everyone. We love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for Parts and Charts, the IFS and Astrology podcast. If something sparked insight or resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you.
No, really, we're here to make friends. Reach out to us. Leave a comment, subscribe, and if you feel called, share this episode with someone you care about. Or if you want to work with us one-on-one and go deeper with this work, check the link in the show notes for how to find us.
Until next time, may all of you feel a part of the family.